Hello guys and welcome to Egypt. We are now in Act 2 of Titan Quest. Let's go and speak to Imhotep. There he is in purple robes.
Greetings, traveler. I am Imhotep.
I know who you are.
Honorable Phaedrus has praised
Or would you rather prefer if I called you Imhotep? No? Okay. Anyways, so he's given us a quest. He says we have to retrieve the scroll of invocation from the Rhakotis library. So we're gonna be going and doing that. And now we're gonna quickly check with the merchants because we still haven't sold some of the loot. Alright. And if you notice, we've got a second bag now after we've killed the Telkeen. So we've got a lot more free space to put our junk in. And we should buy some potions as well because we've wasted quite a lot after the fight with the Telkeen. Come on! Alright, and you're welcome, mate. Let's see with the other merchant. That bird just disappeared in midair.
What do you want?
Right.
Quick,
Oh,
off.
look at this. Hardy Ring of Life. Freaking amazing. Though look at the freaking price. Can't afford it. Stupid thing. Oh well. Well, if we can't buy that, we're not gonna buy anything from you, mate. Activate the portal. Say hello to the Mystic and let's go. And just before we go, there's a guy here who gives us a side quest. So speak to him.
It's not safe here. The city is overrun.
There. Family Heirloom. So he wants us to find his special sword, which we'll do. And sword is held by this special kind of quest, Jackalman. And this Jackalman actually could spawn in any of the 3 random locations, if I remember correctly. So you got to check all 3 of those locations. And here, if you notice, the city is in ruins, has been attacked by the Jackalman. And Jackalman are not too bad. And then Rhakotis library actually just passed here, but since it's blocked we can't go that way, so we'll have to go all the way through the slums. See, we're fighting some really bad angles today. Come on. What's going on? That's funny how they're chasing the people. Oh, another one. And we killed him. Look at this guy, what the heck is he doing? Just dancing there or something. Or doing his morning exercise. Alright, so in the previous episode we've completed Act 1. Well, no shit. We're in Egypt, so obviously we've completed Act 1. And yeah, we fought 2 bosses, the Minotaur Lord and Megalesius, our first Telkeen. We've destroyed him, according to the words of Kairos. And yeah, there's something actually I forgot to mention about the battle with the Telkeen. One of the things he can do actually is mind control your pets. So if you have any pets in a battle, you should disband them. Like, you know, otherwise he will take control of them and they're gonna attack you, and that's not gonna be any good. So yeah. And for now we're just gonna chillax a little bit because the enemies around here are pretty easy. Having 2 boss fights in a row was a bit of a shock to the system. Ah, Shrine of Mastery, why didn't I see you earlier? Well, looks like we have to tag it and then waste time walking and all that. Should have seen it earlier. Never mind. It's gonna be the first rebirth fountain. Here, there we go. And here's some more enemies around here. And one of the things I wanted to mention also are the defenses. About how do the defenses act when an enemy attacks you, for example, when you attack an enemy. Like in what order are they applied? And why are there so many shrines around here? Seriously, this is the 3rd one we've encountered now. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, hang on a sec. Yeah, I actually missed one part here, over there. Gotta go there quickly. Alright. Yeah, I just wanted to show this part, and then I'll because this is one of the spawning places actually of that Jackalman who's got the guy's sword, so he could be here or he might not, but it's worth a check. Plus there's more enemies, and more enemies always means more experience. Right, so it looks like he wasn't here. So we just gotta check the other two places. I'm just gonna fast forward this part as I'm getting back because this is tedious. But yeah, with the defenses, how they're applied, like you've got different things. You've got obviously armor, resistances, or ADA, and this sort of stuff. Okay, and once again another shrine. Why are there so many shrines around here? Seriously, this is the fourth one now. And around here, this is actually the second area where this Jackalman appears. And there he is. He actually is here. See if he's glowing and his name is in purple. Once we kill him, we get those shamans at the back, just heal them. There we go. All cleared out. And if you notice, Family Sword of Anhero. And we're gonna portal back in a second and give it to the guy after we clean out this area. But yeah, so the defenses. I've actually had to check through this, and I'm still not entirely sure, so feel free to correct me if I am wrong. But since there isn't that much information on this on the net, but the way I've gathered is that first, let's say if an enemy attacks you, first it goes with the offensive and defensive ability calculation. So it goes with their offensive ability against your defensive ability. So that's the first thing that comes into account, and it determines whether they will even hit you in the first place or if they completely miss. Now if they do hit you, and whether it does critical or reduced damage, it then goes to your armor, and your armor is what soaks up the physical damage. If it's not a physical damage, if it's something else like piercing or elemental, for example, it will go for the resistances. What the heck has happened to this staff? Was it standing upright? That's just weird. Anyways, let's portal back actually, and give the guy his sword back. And I will show you another third area as well where that Jackalman could spawn, just so that you don't miss it in case it happens in your game. Right, speak to him.
Sword. You found
My sword! My sword! My sword! Right, he's given us... We completed the quest and he's given us Essence of Amun-Ra's Glory, which is here. And we also picked up Anubis' Wrath earlier, which is nice because it gives us % attack damage converted to health. And the legendary Anubis' Wrath is really nice because if you're dual wielding, you can put it on both of your weapons and it gives you a nice bonus. Anyways, so back to the defenses. So after the armor and resistances, then comes in the shield. So if any damage still does go through, it will be blocked by your shield if your shield is not on a cooldown. And as far as I know, shield is the last one. But there's also another thing called damage absorption. If you remember it, I told you about. This is the area, the third area where that Jackalman spawns. So if you notice, we've explored all three areas, and there's a little cave around here which we're gonna go into as well. But yeah. So the last thing that actually does come into account after the shield is the damage absorption. Damage absorption, that works on every damage type. So it's like a total damage resistance kind of thing. So if you do have something like that, like from Trance of Convalescence, for example, in Dream Mastery, then that will be like the last thing that will be applied, if what from what I checked is correct. So yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do with this information really, with the way the defense is applied, but it could come in handy if you're really wondering. So let's recap again. So we had offensive and defensive ability first, then we have armor, then resistances, then shield, and then damage absorption. And if this is wrong, and you're sure about it, then please do feel free to correct me. Alright, so now if you notice in these caves, we're fighting all sorts of junk. Fighting these little scarab beetles, and fighting those decaying masses, or whatever those green slimes are. And the green slimes are actually quite annoying because they shoot these poison projectiles at you which slow you down. And when you get slowed down, they can gang up on you. And sometimes they actually... it happened to me like a few times before. But they manage to do a powerful hit on you and can hurt. I'm not sure what causes that though. So it's best to just try to stay away from them. Just don't get too close. Don't stay around them for too long. Okay, and this cave comes out here into this little opening around here. It's called Lookout Cave, and I'm guessing it probably is called that because we get to have a look out into the area which we'll be visiting a bit later, right after the library. If you look here, you can actually even see some of the enemies. Like we can see the crocodile men over there and the vultures. You can even cast Squall on them if you want to, like this. I'm not sure if it's actually hurt them or not. It should do, but there's not a damn thing that they can do about it. I mean, what are they gonna do? Climb all the way here and fight us? Alright, let's backtrack now. We're almost at the Rhakotis library. There's just a few more areas around here with these repugnant decays. And it's quite interesting because they've got weapons in them sometimes. And see all these staves and other things. This cave is really dull, isn't it? There'll be quite a few more caves like that in this act. Look at this, Rigid Carapace. Rigid Carapace is actually quite a nice monster charm because you can put it on your shield and it gives you some nice piercing resistance. And piercing resistance is one of the most important resistances in this game because it protects you against archers and all sorts of monsters that could hurt you. We're not far now from the entrance to the Rhakotis library. Just gotta kill these few guys around here. If you notice, they're not really much of a challenge, and as far as I remember, they don't really have any kind of overpowered champions of any sort, or any kind of monster types that do some kind of crazy attacks. They're like pretty much your standard enemies of this act. They're pretty much like the satyrs of Act 2. I bet they felt insulted by that comment. But what are they gonna do about it? It's not like they can beat us. Right, and over here, if you remember, this is the part we've been earlier, and we had to go all the way around here through the slums to get to here. Okay, and the Rhakotis library is actually this way, just over here, around this pretty area. Okay, now that we've cleared them, let's look in the royal coffer. Essence of Set's betrayal. There it is, gives us some piercing damage, and we enter the Rhakotis library. And now so you just gotta speak to this guy here, the one who's covering in the corner there, because it updates your quest, I think.
I thank the gods that you are
Alright, and yeah, we're gonna stop around here. In the next episode, at the end of this library, we're gonna be facing Scarabeus, a giant scarab. See you guys there. Bye then.